Welcome back, folks. Just before the break, we were talking about the match between Kraaifontein and Primrose. It's a make or break. Jerome, Primrose will be going into this game. We're not going to give the result away here, but this has been a drastic drop. We don't often see clubs get relegated 2 years in a row. It doesn't happen often. Obviously, things have not gone well for Primrose this year.
Yeah, it's strange. Look, we watched a couple of their games. They were competitive. It's strange for me to see that. Look, what happened on Saturday, but I think their season was better than the other seasons. It just shows the competitiveness of the Super B clubs, because they were winning some of the games. They were winning quite comfortably.
Yeah.
And
because I've always, I've said it from the beginning. Primrose is historically by nature, they're a Super League A side. They play good rugby. I mean, we've seen some enormous matches. Of course, nothing stands out more than a Primrose SK Warmers game. But they've got quality players. They've always had good coaches. Maybe that's the factor, is that Super League B is just getting stronger and stronger every year.
Yeah, it is. And I mean, and also one thing about Primrose is their junior structures with the youth club.
Yeah.
They've got a lot of juniors playing there, and we're always talking about guys getting like a feeder system.
Yeah.
And they've got that right.
Yeah. Well, I think, I think we spoke about it before. It's one of the things that I actually personally measure the clubs on, is not necessarily the results of their first team. It's the success of the depth of the team. And I think for Primrose, they've certainly managed to get that side of things right. In fact, we still, folks, are going to be doing an analysis of the clubs. We're going to do this analysis next week, where we take a look at the clubs' league positions, but we'll take into account and give you an average of the first team, the second team, and the third team combined, as well as those teams that maybe have under 20 sides. And then we'll see who ranks where once we look at the averages from the logs. But yes, it was Kraaifontein up against Primrose, and of course we take a look now at the second half. Right, there we go, folks. Final match result, and we'll show you all of the results a little bit later. We don't want to spoil for you any of the other results, but yes, it was then a win for Kraaifontein, 16 points to 14. So Jerome, sad news for Primrose. They end up, they will be, well, we wait for the official announcements, obviously, but in terms of the rules here, Primrose is going to be relegated. They're going to end up going to Super League C. But for Kraaifontein, it will be promotion to Super League B. The question, like you were asking then before, is will Kraaifontein be ready for Super League B?
I think, like we were saying earlier on, I think they prepared from the start of the season to prepare them to go up to Super B. And I think they will be competitive. It's exactly like what we say, what a team needs to do. And you can see what they've done through the year. And the players that they got in, they got experience in, they got Earl Rose in, they got Freddie Miller. Their success was actually the second half when they brought Freddie Miller on. Just the calmness in controlling with their big pack of forwards. With the other 9 that was on the first half was a bit quick to just play and just. But you can see how Freddie Miller and Earl Rose were just controlling the game at the second half. And I mean, well done to Primrose. I mean, that game was actually Primrose's game. I mean, they scored when the Hooter went, Kraaifontein went to score. So it was a great game of rugby. I mean, Primrose could have stayed up, but Kraaifontein really, they really controlled the second half.
This is also a question, though, of if you don't want to be in promotion relegation, you've got to get your season right earlier in the season. You've got to take advantage of all the points, all the bonus points, and it's the only way that you're going to stay out of the bottom 3.
Yeah, and that's why a lot of teams start to play better the second half of the season. But the first half is as important because there's certain games that they lose that they're supposed to win. So you're going to end up, and then it comes down to everybody look at maybe hopefully this team can beat this team, maybe this points difference is like that. And it's every other year the same story. So as you say, you have to prepare, and everybody's going to win. It's always going to come down to this, but as a coach or as a management, you must be confident in your heart and say, look, we've done everything to try and stay up or to try and to go up.
So you really do need to think about stability. I mean, that does seem to be one of the factors that's important now. You can't blow hot and cold.
No, you can't. And another thing that I picked up, JP, just watching the game, watching the coaches, I don't see any coach, I might be wrong, with a notebook in his hand, taking notes, just like you can't remember the whole game.
Yeah.
You need to give your players the proper feedback and say, look, at 10, 11, that line out was our line out to take. Look at the opposition line out and say, most of their line outs going to, I'm just making an example, going to number 5. Maybe give them the front ball, but focus 90% on the middle part, contesting there. Look at your number 9. Maybe the number 9 doesn't do anything. You just take the ball and play.
Yeah.
So your line speed can be better.
Yeah.
But you can't do that if you just stand there like a spectator watching the game.
All right, we're going to talk more about some of the new coaching dynamics in a second. We'll come back after the break. Don't go away.